Well, I'd like to welcome everybody to the October 2nd Town Hall for the Aul Financial Group. Looking forward to hearing what everybody has to say today, and we'll go from there. And let's go ahead and kick it off. Mr. Mel, you want to start us out today?
Okay. My subject today is kind of interesting because it ties into a couple different things. First of all, is the actual slogan. Most of you that are clients know that we use as our money management system is Market Guard. And Market Guard has done fantastic for us. We've been with them for a year now, and the performance has just been phenomenal. We're very happy with it. Um, the interesting thing, though, is that on their logo, it says Market Guard, the power of knowing. And that leads me into something that I want to share. All right, so what you're looking at here is talking about October and some of the things that are going to be coming up, but it's not just about Halloween and things of that nature. What I found today was an article that was actually written for financial advisors, and it was called What Does Financial Stress Look Like? And it got me to thinking about what it is that we do as part of our practice and working with clients. And essentially, retirement planning as opposed to just the investment side. Now, some of you know we have stocks, bonds, mutual funds, non-mutual funds, but ETFs, insurance products, annuities, life insurance, long-term care. So we have all the same tools that everybody else does. So I talked about this on our last town hall. What makes us a little bit different is that included for the price of the management, we also include the pretty much full-blown planning, or we include planning about a lot of different subjects when it comes to retirement. But what the interesting part about it is that most common fear by far is not having enough either for the future retirement or for the needs of today. So not having enough money. The second biggest fear is not knowing what to do, not having a background in making financial decisions. One of the powers of having the financial advisor is it's kind of like having a guide. We did a trip recently to the Dominican, and I went on a buggy ride thing. And we went out into the back country, and they took us in through the woods and back down this very steep little path. And you had to climb down and go under the tree and around this tree, and they went into this cave that's thousands of years old. And then the guide was telling us about this and that of the subject, and we went through, and it was super interesting. I had a ball. But what would it have been like if I hadn't had the guide? First of all, I probably wouldn't have known the cave was even there. Second of all, getting to it would have been absolutely just an exploration that I wouldn't probably be willing to take because I didn't know what to do, where to do it, how to do it, what I was going for, what my goal was. Having that guide was really, really powerful and made the trip a lot of fun. I really thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'd recommend it if you're interested. Sometime I'll tell you all about it. But this month, this is kind of a new thing. October is financial advisor or financial planning month. It's a whole new thing. They just named a whole month for us. So this article is talking to us as advisors about what we might be providing to our clientele. The really the unfamiliar territory isn't so scary when you have a guide, a good guide, and it really is a part of that. This week, talking to our own clients, our own reviews, half of the conversation is about what are we doing, where are we going, how life has changed, what things are coming up, what do we need to plan for, what's the question about this, when should we take this money out. We had a whole discussion today with a client about we need to pull some money out to flush out the cash flows. The question is, do we do it now? Or do we do it in January to push it into a different tax year? How, and looking at what the current tax rates are, what the current expenses are, how much money is in the cash reserves or in the non-qualified, or which IRA we should take it out of, which one's performing well, which one's lagging, should we make adjustments? All of that is a part of the planning process. And the other thing I have thinking, an experienced, knowledgeable financial advisor can also act as a sort of a financial therapist. Okay, a reliable and educated source who can look at the problems from the outside because you may be way too familiar with your issues. Um, when you get that myopic, I have to do this problem, I have to solve this thing, what do I do about this? It's very difficult to separate the emotions from the stress and look at the whole situation and maybe figure out the best solution. And just knowing what all the potential solutions are is something that not everyone is going to be able to do. A lot of you guys spend a ton of time on the internet and reading about Social Security and Medicare, and it's amazing sometimes the amount of knowledge that we get from our clients when they come in about they know this or that or the other. But the other side of that is they rarely know it all. They rarely have had 30 years of experience in dealing with these issues and understand that there's multiple ways of looking at a particular situation. And what does do when they have that experience is it expands their vocabulary and their knowledge of some of the potentials. It makes it easier sometimes to point out additional ways of handling things or other solutions that might come up. But the whole thing I got from this article, quite honestly, is that it reinforces what Steve and I and Will have talked about over and over and over again. The ability for our clients to sit down and put that stress away by explaining what their issue is and then having us show them all the potential solutions and allowing them to help pick out the one that fits them the best. Understanding your needs, understanding what you're trying to do, understanding what it is that upsets you. We have clients where I encourage them for a long time to go ahead and spend a little more money and enjoy those vacations. You don't have to scrimp and save anymore. Or the other side of the coin is, well, you will be able to do these things if you do this, this, and this. I've had multiple conversations, with Steve talking with clients about when they can retire, how they can retire, what's the potential for hitting their income streams and their goals. All of that is part of the process from our point of view. We spend as much time with Will being new to the company talking about that side as we do about the particular investments. And he can go in and look at Market Guard and see the performance and read all that stuff. He's got tons of experience along those lines. It's all the other stuff that is new and different to most people in our industry when they come on board with somebody like us, where we spend a great deal of time doing that planning process. That is the bulk of the learning, quite honestly. And it's coming along great. We appreciate Will being on board with us, and hopefully you'll get a chance to meet him sometime in the future if you haven't already. And this is really all I wanted to talk about today. We talked about last week about getting value for your money, the fees that you're charged. Are you getting good performance results and service from that? And this kind of led into that again. In that it being Financial Advisor Month, we wanted to know that we take all this stuff pretty seriously. And hopefully, if you haven't talked to us already, you might want to take a chance to find out what really is the difference between what you have and what you could have.
Thank you very much, Mel. And now let's go ahead and kick it over to Will.
Thank you so much. Well, today, just listening to Mel, I will also talk about everything has to do with the process, right? So whenever you are on board with a specific financial advisor, with a company or with us, you always want to know the process, because it's not just coming here, we'll tell you if your investments are great or you're not doing great, or if you can or if you cannot retire. Has to be a process. So today I will kind of summarize and give you a idea what is our process, which I think since day one I was super impressed with every single detail and every single idea around retirement and going to the next step. So some of you listen to Steve on the radio. Some of you probably come to our seminars in different type of restaurants. Some of you also get someone that is a current client of ours. You get a referral. You refer from them to come to us. So the first appointment, we call it a discovery appointment, first appointment. First, we talk about you. We want to know all the information around you and your family. Income, if you have investment somewhere else, what are your goals? Comparing with other places, every time you go there, the goal is like, I want to make money. I want my money to grow. Here, we talk to you about outliving your money, increasing your current income, your guaranteed income. What will you do whenever you retire and you stop working? Where is this income going to come? Reduce income taxes. That will be an advantage here with other places. We have people that we can talk about taxes and to give us the idea on it, feel the numbers and play with the numbers to see where we can save up with taxes. Investment returns, safety of principle. So all the ideas, all your goals, we numerize that from 1 to 10. After that, we ask you other questions that other people do not ask you. Do you have an attorney? Do you have an accountant? Do you rent your home? Any pensions, life insurance, long-term care? Those type of details, you will not see it somewhere else. After we gather all that information, we talk a little more about you. We explain you about our process. We tell you about our company, and we schedule a second appointment. The second appointment is the appointment where we give you something really general. Give us the idea where we can help you and what type of things we discover in your all investments, your all process. Before that appointment, Steve, Mel, David, and myself, we sat together and we talked about the ideas of how to help you, or how could be advantageous for you whenever you want to come to work with us. In the second appointment, we present something that we call it the summary of plan. We make sure that your information is set up right in the paper, on the Word document. We show your goals that you numerize in the previous form, and we talk about your income. So we talk about your current salary, we talk about your Social Security, your pensions, any required minimum distributions that you may get in the future. And we do something incredible. We see your income gap. That until I came to this office, I didn't know what exactly was the difference between income and growth. I used to do just like, yeah, your money is going to grow here, your investments are going to grow there. But eventually, in some point of our lives, we will need just income. So if we're making right now a specific amount of money working, how much will we need whenever we stop working? Where's this money coming from? So we have things like we work with annuities, we work with other tools provided by Market Guard. We talk about the 4% rule, and we also can do combinations of different stuff. Then we talk to you about your current portfolio. What is your current allocation, and where's the allocation that you told us in the first appointment? Most of the time, we see a big difference. People said, I'm a 40-50. I'm not that aggressive. But we see your current portfolio, we call it 90% equity and 10% fixed income, which is actually totally opposite, and you've been really aggressive. Then we talk about Market Guard, that we are really happy. I never have the experience with the people before, but right now it has an idea for everybody, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. Then we talk about fee structure, which is really important because we talk to you that on front. In the second appointment, what are we going to do, how much it's going to cost, and from then you make a decision where if you want to come with us or not. Then something that is Steve's favorite, tax strategy. Roth conversions. It is good for you, it's not good for you. It's something that a lot of people think is just an advantage that everybody is good for everybody. right? Yeah, I want to do Roth conversions. Why are you not giving me Roth conversions? Sometimes it's different. It depends if you have heirs or you don't want to leave anything to your heirs and you want to spend all the money for you. So it's different details that will tailor that for you to give you the best advice. Later, we talk about long-term care. Something that I will tell you, I'm from Peru, and this is the first time I ever heard that people have long-term care strategies, because I will tell you, my parents back in the day in Peru, the only long-term care they had, you know who it was? Me. So we talk about legal documents, will, trust, power of attorneys, estate transfer planning. So I will tell you, you will never have a conversation like this in another place. And if you do, please let us know, because we will give you a better idea what we're going to do for you. Then after that, we do alternative tax strategy to be able to do, and we work with life insurance too, if it's advantageous for you or your heirs. Then we have the third appointment. The third appointment is something more detailed, your allocations, what you want to do, and we work with you. It means if you don't like something or you are kind of defensive, especially annuities, that we see it a lot, we explain you what is the reasoning behind it. And if you don't like it, we do have options for you to be able to not to use annuities. And after that, the decision is on you, the ball is in your court to be able to come on board and be able to be part of our family. And I will tell you, there's a lot of advantages. If you talk with current clients, they go to Busch Stadium, to go to the Fox Theater, they go to different places. So this is the process. And I think the process is really important and it's good to share, because nobody shows you the process. They will tell you the results. But how do you know how you are informed to get those results if you know the process? So that's what I had today. I think that's really important. Impressed me on day one. That's the reason I'm really happy here. So I wanted to share that with you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Will. Okay, so we're going to go into month of October. The month of October, we had a pretty good September. Markets were a little bit more volatile, but we had, some catchbacks. And then we had to get into the month of October. And there's a few extra headwinds that have hit during this time frame. We still have the election. Tuesday night, we got to watch the last debate. I do not think there's going to be any more debates during this political season, which is a very short amount of debates. One presidential debate, one vice presidential debate. But we had something that happened last night. The problems in the Middle East, is that going to quote set more volatility into the market? The markets did start out down today because of that action, but it kind of leveled out in the middle of the day. And then I think the other thing that could affect our markets and our political is the longshoreman strike. That can affect supply lines. So getting things to the market could be a problem there. And then it's also, how is the current administration going to react? Will they make them come to the bargaining table? If it could upset the unions. So there's going to be a lot of political dancing going on right now between those two major events, what's going on in the Middle East and the longshoreman strike that's coming on from here. We get the questions around stuff like that, and people will come in, and I was asked a question, Steve, why do you like Market Guard? And I said, the thing I like about Market Guard is methodical, non-emotional, mathematical models. And the thing that really makes it nice is if you're out there and you're that person that just wants to protect the asset, you don't want large market declines. We've got portfolios for that. If you're conservative, moderate, aggressive, We have models for those. And then those that are willing to accept a little bit more risk, we have stock models. Dividend paying, growth, emerging technology. Those things I think are very important because when they put them together, they're built upon mathematical, methodical models. It's not an emotion, because it's been my experience that most people, their returns are lowered over time because of emotional decisions. So yes, we're always going to be emotional. That's always going to happen. But if we can remove as much of that as possible, and I think that's what both Mel and Will were talking about, is having somebody to run those ideas by when you get afraid or when you get nervous or you have questions, having somebody to run those by are very important. And then I want to talk about a subject that almost everybody out there will either need or already has. We're doing an event on October the 23rd. Scott Stream is going to come in and he's going to talk about Medicare. Medicare Advantage plans, Medicare supplemental plans. So almost everybody needs those. If you don't have one of those two and you're on Medicare, please come to this event so you can see where you are being exposed and where it could cost you in the long run. One of the things in an article I read earlier this week is the quote, Advantage plans. Advantage plans, the government just pays the insurance company, and it's the insurance companies to control the cost. Well, what's happened with the cost of medical care? It's gone up, so those profits are getting squeezed. So some of the things that might be covered in an Advantage plan now might not be covered in the future. A lot of the giveaways that they used to do to keep you healthy are now being removed because the government wants those gone. So remember, if you're already on Medicare, you want to look at that every single year. It's not set it and forget it. If your medications change, those are the things that we want you to do. So again, October the 23rd, 6 o'clock, we're going to have Scott Stream come in. He's going to talk about Medicare. And I'm going to talk about the other thing that everybody out there will probably participate in, Social Security. A lot of people think that Social Security is, I retire, I turn on my Social Security. That's not necessarily true. One of the things that we will talk about is why would we delay taking Social Security? Because it could be more advantageous with survivor benefits when one of the two passes away. So those are the topics that we are going to talk about. Remember, October the 23rd, I am going to share a screen here so we can find out on some of the other events that we have going on here in the office. We still do have openings, retirement roadblocks at the Twisted Tree. You have to call to get a reservation, so please call the office and see if we still have openings. Client appreciation and new clients. We like to thank those people that have referred somebody to our office. We do a client appreciation. That's at Bishop's Post. That's going to be on the 15th. Again, I just talked about the Medicare with Scott Stream, and then we're going to come back at the end of the month, the 24th and the 26th of October, to talk about taxes in retirement. Remember, the 2025 is not that far off. Those Trump tax cuts expire at the end of 2025. So most of us know that that is a change if they don't make it permanent. We could go back to the Obama era rates and brackets. So almost everybody could take an increase if they come from there. So give us a call if any of these things make sense for you all, because again, we've had a fantastic year, and it's because of the referral of family and friends. So we just want to thank everybody out there for being a part of our family.